Extra Chapter 1. She's already decided who will play Andy Lau. Mommy, my brother always sneaks off to play at my aunt's apartment and doesn't take me with him, wah. Jiang Shin nestled her little head against Qin Shixi's neck, her pitiful little tears wetting Qin Shixi's collar. Qin Shixi gently patted her daughter's bottom and chuckled as she exposed her daughter's mischief. That's because you never take him with you when you go to instance to play with the little girls. HMPH, I'm not talking to mom anymore. I'm going to make dad drag my brother back. He can't go with me either. 3-year-old Jiang Shin struggled to get down from Qin Shixi's arms and ran off to the study to find Jiang Yi. Watching her daughter Jiang Shin run away, Qin Shixi shook her head helplessly. How could her twin sister have such a bad personality? It seems she inherited her grandfather's temperament from her father. I need to talk to Jiang Yi tonight after he gets off work about how to get the child back on the right track. Jiang Yi was in his study processing the return to world request of a player who had successfully passed the SSS level instance test when his daughter came running over excitedly, tugging at his trouser leg. Jiang Yi knew without a doubt what she wanted to say. No, Jiang Yi directly rejected Jiang Shin's unreasonable request and continued with his work. Jiang Shin stared at the system panel in front of her father, her little face puffed up with anger. She clenched her two little fists and slammed them on the table with a thud. Can. Jiang Yi looked down helplessly at little Jiang Shin, who had already nimbly climbed onto his lap, and with a headache, closed the system panel for processing player applications. After stopping his work, Jiang Yi picked up Jiang Shin, rubbed her little head, and walked out of the study. Jiang Yi asked Jiang Shin gently, "What is possible? Tell me first." After tending to her small vegetable patch in the back garden, Qin Shixi leisurely went to the study to find Jiang Yi. Just then, Jiang Yi paced back and forth in the study. His desk had been taken over by little Jiang Shin, who stood on the table like a little tyrant, supporting his small body with his little arms, and spouting nonsense with righteous indignation. Seeing Qin Shixi walking towards the study, Jiang Yi's eyes revealed a pleading look. Seeing this, Qin Shixi quickly went to rescue him, otherwise the doting father Jiang Yi would be forced to agree to CO Jiang Shin's unreasonable demands again, and then the two of them would have to rush off to apologize. That night, Jiang Yi and Qin Shixi tossed and turned in bed. They looked at each other, sat up, and racked their brains for a solution to their two troublesome children. Jiang Shin and Jiang Bai are the children born to Qin Shixi and Jiang Yi during their honeymoon in the real world. Jiang Yi made a deal with his father, Jiang Chao, giving him 3 years to take Qin Shixi back to the real world for a period of sweet life. Once the time was up, Jiang Yi would return to officially take over the role of ruler of the horror world and become the new ruler. Although Jiang Yi had hoped to have a child to inherit the family business so he could end his long reign and travel with his wife Qin Shixi, 2 children arrived instead. These 2 children, to varying degrees, inherited the bad-natured personality of their grandfather, Jiang Chao. The older brother, Jiang Bai, appears well-behaved but secretly does bad things and manages to clean up the mess himself. The younger sister, Jiang Shin, never hides her bad deeds. She always leaves her miserable parents, Qin Shixi and Jiang Yi, to clean up her messes. Jiang Yi pulled his wife Qin Shixi, who was just as troubled as he was, into his arms. After thinking for a long time, he said softly, "Baby, time flows differently in each world. If we send Jiang Shin and Jiang Bai to the real world, for us in this world, their growth will be in the blink of an eye." According to the timeline of this terrifying world, Jiang Shin and Jiang Bai are already 300 years old, but according to the timeline of the real world, they are only 3 years old. So you plan to send them to the real world? Qin Shixi's expression was complicated, as if she was pondering the feasibility of the method. Jiang Yi looked at his wife with some worry, afraid that she would be reluctant to part with the child. What are we waiting for? Let's send them to the real world to receive 9 years of compulsory education. Yes, send them there tomorrow. They're completely out of control here. Tomorrow I'll go to the cultivation world to bring Jiang Bai back, and we'll find some time to send those two brats to the real world. Qin Shi was excited just thinking about it. She had already decided who would play Dihua. Seeing his wife's excited eyes shining, Jiang Yi felt a little relieved. Ever since Jiang Xin and Jiang Bai, those two troublemakers, were born, they hadn't had a single day of peace. When Jiang Yi used to help his mother Wen Wan clean up the messes his father Jiang Chao had made, he was glad that he hadn't inherited his father's bad genes. But he never expected that the bad genes would be passed down through generations, and that Jiang Xin and Jiang Bai would benefit from them. The next day, Qin Shi coaxed and tricked Jiang Bai back from the cultivation world managed by Bai as he. After fooling the two little ones for a while, she prepared to send them to the real world. Jiang Xin, Mom, can my brother and I really go to school in the real world? Qin Shi, Xingxin, Mommy isn't lying. Look, Mommy and Daddy even prepared backpacks for you that human kids carry. After saying that, Qin Shi pulled out a small pink and blue backpack from behind her and handed it to Jiang Xin. Jiang Bai. After taking the school bag, Jiang Bai asked with some concern, Mom, when my sister and I go to school in the real world, will Mom and Dad come with us? Qin Shi nodded, patted the two little ones' heads, and said gently, Don't worry, although Daddy is busy with work, Mommy will visit you often. Pack some of your favorite things in your little backpacks, and once Daddy has opened the designated passage, he can take you there. Jiang Xin, Jiang and Bai, the two little ones, hugged their little backpacks tightly. After listening to their mother's instructions, they happily ran back to their room and tidied up their beloved toys. In the real world, outside a luxurious villa, Jiang Xin and Jiang Bai, carrying their little backpacks, were laughing happily. Their parents sent them to experience school in the real world. After all, they had lived in the real world before and were particularly envious of the older kids who went to school with their backpacks. So when their mother suggested they come to school, they happily agreed. Ding dong, ding dong. Jiang Xin fiddled with her pink backpack, and seeing that no one had opened the door for a while, she looked at her brother Jiang Bai in confusion and said, Brother, why hasn't anyone opened the door yet? Could it have been delivered to the wrong place? Jiang Bai frowned and speculated with a serious face, It's impossible to have delivered it to the wrong address. Dad is always reliable. I'll ring the doorbell twice more. Ding dong, ding dong. Bai Apiao, who lives alone in the real world, thought he had misheard. Why would someone ring his doorbell so early in the morning? Extra Chapter 2, I'll give the child to you to raise. Bai Apiao resumed his human routine. He returned to the real world with his own purpose, to protect someone he wanted to protect. After guarding the person he wanted to protect for several days in a row, Bai Apiao was so tired that he could barely keep his eyes open. He finally managed to get a good night's sleep, but was woken up early in the morning by the doorbell. Thinking he had misheard, he went back to sleep, but the second doorbell rang and he was sure that someone was indeed looking for him. Bai Apiao rubbed his sleepy eyes and hurried to open the door. He saw nothing when he opened it and couldn't help but feel unhappy. Was someone playing a prank on him? Uncle, we're here. Seeing that Bai Apiao hadn't noticed her and her brother yet, Jiang Xin angrily raised her arm and waved it vigorously. When Bai Apiao saw the two little kids waving at him with big smiles, he suddenly opened his eyes wide and asked in surprise, What are you doing here? Jiang Bai handed a letter to Bai Apiao and said obediently, Uncle, this is a letter from my parents to you. Bai Apiao took the letter from Jiang Bai and sighed helplessly. Favors must be repaid, so is it time for him to repay them? Bai Apiao carefully put the letter away and led Jiang Xin and Jiang Bai into the villa. Uncle, when can we go to school? Jiang Xin asked impatiently. Bai Apiao glanced at Jiang Xin and Jiang Bai. They looked about the same age as her. Could he arrange things this way? Sino-Singapore Kindergarten. Remember what I said. If you succeed, your uncle will buy you ice cream. Bai Apiao squatted down and instructed Jiang Xin and Jiang Bai. Jing Bai thought of the strawberry ice cream she ate at her uncle's house yesterday, and her mouth watered so much that she nodded vigorously. Don't worry, uncle, we will definitely complete the mission. Seeing the two little ones confidently step into the kindergarten gate and be led away by the teacher, Bai Pio stood outside the kindergarten for a long time, looking inside with worry. Is this your first time sending your children to kindergarten? Your two children are so beautiful, are they twins? If I had such beautiful children, I wouldn't feel comfortable sending them to kindergarten, a beautiful woman in her 30s complimented. Upon hearing this, Bai Pio was exasperated. He wasn't even an adult yet. Where did this child come from? Thinking of Jiang Xin who had just entered the Gosling nursery, Jiang Bai nodded perfunctorily. It wasn't that he was worried about the two little devils, what he was worried about was. Seeing that Bai Pio seemed a little embarrassed by the question, the beautiful woman continued, is this your first time being a parent? I'm sending my second daughter in. You'll get used to it. Children can grow up better when they're with other children their own age. Bai Pio looked closely at the beautiful woman. She seemed somewhat familiar. He searched his memory for information about this mother of two. I remember now, it's her, Jing Yuan's mother. Bai Pio returned to the real world to protect Jing Yuan, a girl he met in the horror world managed by Jing Gi. After the girl completed the SSS level instance mission, she submitted an application to the overlord Jing Gi to return to her original world. At that time, Bai Pio pleaded with Jing Gi for a long time without success, and only after begging Qin Shi did he learn the details of the girl's return to the world. The girl was a wealthy heiress in her past life, but her identity was switched with that of her own child by a vicious nanny. In the end, the vicious nanny also killed the mistress of the Jing family and became Jing Yuan's stepmother by showing love for the child. That child was originally her own, so how could she not love him? The girl was fostered by a vicious nanny in a relative's home in the countryside from birth, where she suffered scorn and abuse from a young age. It wasn't until she was 18 that her older brother, Jing Xiu, found her and she learned the truth. On their way back to the Jing family home, the two siblings were involved in a car accident orchestrated by their stepmother, which left the girl's brother, Jing Xiu, in a vegetative state, while the girl died on the spot due to the severity of the accident. The girl's application to return to the real world was to go back into her mother's womb with memories of her past life. Upon learning of her application, Bai Pio immediately traveled to the real world. Fortunately, he arrived just in time for Jing Yuan's mother to give birth. Bai Pio, fully armed, was guarding the hospital. When he saw Jing Yuan being carried out of the delivery room by the nurse and holding onto her 6-year-old brother's hand, he knew that she must have memories from her past life. However, Jing Yuan was only holding on to Jing Xiu, who was just a child. It would be difficult for him to stop the vicious nanny Zuyan from switching the children. Bai Pio pulled up his mask and continued to guard. If Jing Yuan couldn't handle the vicious nanny, he would step in to help her. Sure enough, although she managed to grab Jing Xiu's fingers with her memories intact, nurse, who was holding her, gently pried them apart. Mr. Jing happily held the child for a while, then asked nurse to take the child for a checkup. In her past life, Jing Yuan was switched with her own child by the wicked nanny Zuyan when nurse took her away for a checkup. Jing's father was still waiting for Mother Jing outside the delivery room. Because Mother Jing was an elderly woman who was having a cesarean section, the doctor was still stitching her up. No one supervised nurse's examination of Jing Yuan, which allowed the real Jing Yuan to be switched by the wicked nanny Zuyan and left to wander outside. Bai Pio kept a close watch from an inconspicuous place the whole time, and sure enough, he saw a suspicious woman wearing a mask, holding a baby wrapped in the same cloth as Jing Yuan. When Zuyan approached Jing Yuan burst into tears, and the crying attracted nurse, who had turned around to get the equipment. Who are you? You can't come in here. Get out now, nurse said, somewhat annoyed. after discovering that Zhu Yan had entered the neonatal intensive care unit. Zhu Yan, who hadn't changed to a child, held her own child and, under nurse's suspicious gaze, said in a trembling voice, "I went to the wrong place, I'm sorry." After saying that, Zhu Yan quickly left the neonatal intensive care unit. Bai Piao smiled. It seemed this was her method for dealing with the wicked nanny who had switched the children. That night, after her checkup, Jiang Yuanyun was returned to her mother Jiang's side. Only Jiang Zheyu was in the ward with her mother Jiang and Jiang Yuanyun, as Jiang's father had to leave to attend to work. Bai Piao stared at the ward door. Sure enough, Zhu Yan, who had failed, hadn't given up on the opportunity to make her biological daughter a wealthy heiress. After observing that Mother Jiang and Jiang Zheyu were asleep in the room, Zhu Yan once again crept into the ward. When Zhu Yan came out again, Bai Piao knew that she had successfully switched places, and he followed Zhu Yan out of the hospital. After placing Jiang Yuan on a bench on a secluded path outside the hospital, Zhu Yan began making a phone call while sitting on the bench. "Hello, is this cousin? This is Zhu Yan. Cousin, haven't you and your wife been unable to have a child of your own after getting married? My boyfriend doesn't want me anymore, and I didn't have time to abort the baby. If you want the child, I'll give it to you to raise." Bonus Chapter 3. Can you please stop thinking of things that will embarrass your uncle? Cousin, I'm telling the truth. I will never take the child back. If you're worried, we can sign an agreement after I send the child over. Okay, I'll take a bus tonight and send the child to you. After hanging up the phone, Zhu Yan turned around and looked regretfully at Jiang Yuan, who was lying in swaddling clothes on the bench. "Child, don't blame me. Wealth is something that is hard to come by if you're not born with it. I can't bear to see my daughter suffer with me. But the new parents I've found for you, although they are not wealthy, they also don't have any biological children. They will definitely not mistreat you." As soon as she finished speaking, Zhu Yan reached out to pick up Jiang Yuanyun from the bench, but the next second she fell asleep and slumped back onto the bench. Bai Piao looked at Zhu Yan, who he had knocked unconscious on the bench, his eyes filled with undisguised murderous intent, but he thought of a better way to punish her. Jiang Yuan, still in her swaddling clothes, was drugged by Zhu Yan. Bai Piao, worried that the drug would affect Jiang Yuan's health, picked her up, leaned close, and blew a breath of magic air into her. This is a cultivation technique that Bai Piao learned in his sister Bai He's cultivation world. He hasn't used it on anyone yet, so he doesn't know if it's effective. Jiang Yuan opened her round, bright eyes. When she saw that it was a strange man holding her, her little face scrunched up, and she looked like she was about to cry. Seeing this, Bai Piao felt a little helpless while holding little Jiang Yuanyun. He suddenly remembered what his cousin Jiang Yi had said: players who complete the mission and leave the horror world with their wishes will lose their memories of the horror world. Therefore, Jiang Yuan now only has memories of her past life, not memories of the horror world, and doesn't remember him either. Bai Piao coaxed gently, "Don't cry, I'm here to help you. I'll take you back to your biological parents." As soon as she finished speaking, Jiang Yuanyun stopped crying, her bright, tear-filled eyes staring straight at Bai Piao. Jiang Yuan, is what this man said true? He doesn't look like a bad person, and he looks. Seeing that Jiang Yuan had stopped crying, Bai Piao knew she understood, so he smiled at her and said, "This time you will live in your real home. Although you don't remember me, I will always watch over you." Halfway through the night, after Zhu Yan's child was exchanged with Jiang Yuanyun, Bai Piao put Zhu Yan's child back by Zhu Yan's side. "Ha, how did I fall asleep?" Zhu Yan got up from the bench, glanced at the sky, and thought that she might have fallen asleep because she was tired from a stressful day of changing babies. She picked up the child from the bench and headed towards the station without thinking twice. Bai Piao watched as Zhu Yan eagerly sent her own child to her childless cousin's house, her heart filled with mockery. ... Is your child also in the junior class? Maybe they're in the same class as my daughter. My daughter is so sweet. If they were in the same class, they would probably get along very well. Seeing Bai Piao's worried expression, the beautiful woman waved her hand to comfort him. Bai Piao gathered his thoughts and realized that this beautiful woman was Jing Yuan's mother. He quickly explained, No, I'm not their father. I'm their brother. Mother Jing was surprised to realize she had misunderstood. She said apologetically, Oh, I see. I'm so sorry. Are they having their second child too? Your mother is amazing. She gave birth to 3 beautiful children. Bai Piao was already a little embarrassed by referring to his uncle as his brother, but after hearing Mother Jing's words, he blushed even more. Jing, Piao, I didn't write out your little secret tilde. Mother Jing, who had mistaken her brother for her father, realized she had made the atmosphere a bit awkward. She made up an excuse and left, leaving Bai Piao bewildered in the wind. After watching Mother Jing get into the car and leave, Bai Piao felt a mix of emotions, but also a little relieved. Villa. Bai Piao chose to live in the same neighborhood as the Jing family, who moved there specifically for the convenience of Jing Yuanyong attending kindergarten. After exchanging children, Bai Piao went back to the cultivation world to inform his sister Bai as he. When he returned to the real world, Jing Yuanyong was already old enough to go to kindergarten. He missed 3 adorable years of her life, and he felt a pang of heartache. Bai Piao, no, I need to learn the invisibility spell quickly, otherwise it will be difficult for him to stay close to Jing Yuan as she grows up. In the afternoon, Bai Piao went to pick up Jing Xin. Jing Bai saw Jing Xin when he got out of school. Jing Bai, holding one of Jing Yuan's hands, was happily escorted out by the teacher. Mother. Upon seeing Mother Jing Yuan immediately released Jing Xin. Jing Bai happily ran into the arms of her mother, Jing, who was picking her up from school. Jing Xin, when Jing Bai saw Bai Piao, he happily ran towards him, even wanting to call him uncle. Fortunately, Bai Piao reacted quickly and used a little magic on them, otherwise his lie today would have been hard to cover up. Jing Bai patted her mouth with her little hands, suddenly unable to speak, which made them a little anxious. Bai Piao quickly squatted down and moved closer to the 2 little ones, lowering his voice to say, Jingxin, Xiaobai, do your uncle another favor. From now on, I'm your older brother. You have to call me brother in front of outsiders. If you agree, nod and wink. When we get back, I'll double your ice cream. Although the 2 little ones were puzzled as to why their cousin Bai Piao wanted them to call him brother, they quickly nodded and blinked when they heard that the ice cream would be doubled. Seeing that the 2 little ones had been bribed, Bai Piao finally released their little mouths. After regaining her ability to speak, Jing Xin eagerly asked again, Brother, is it really double the ice cream? Bai Piao smiled and nodded, saying, Really, I'll buy your other flavors of ice cream too. Jing Bai hesitated before asking, Brother, my sister and I agree to your request, but do Mom and Dad agree? Bai Piao, no, kid, can you please stop thinking of things that would embarrass your uncle? They agreed, so you can keep calling him that. I'll go back and prepare your favorite food, okay? Okay. On the way back to the villa community, 2 luxury cars drove side by side into the community gate. Yuan, look here. Brother, Yuan is in the car next to us. After waving to Jing Yuanyong in the luxury car next to them, Jing Xin turned around and called out to her brother Jing Bai. Jing Bai and her younger sister Jing Xin squeezed into the same car window, waving to Jing Yuan in the car opposite. The 3 little ones started calling out to each other from a distance. Jing Xin, Yuan, do you live here too? Jing Yuan, yes, I'll come find you guys to play when I get back. Jing Bai, Yuan, come visit us as soon as you get back. Jing Yuanyong pulled her head back into the car and said to her mother sitting next to her, Mom, after we go back and have dinner, shall we go to their house to play? Bonus Chapter 4, I didn't expect you to care so much about your age. Sure, Yuan, did you ask for their address? Although we live in the same neighborhood, we still don't know where they live, Mother Jiang said, patting her head. Upon hearing this, Jiang Yuanyong immediately turned to Jiang Shin. Jiang Bai called out, Shin, Xiu Bai, where do you live in this neighborhood? Jiang Shin, who just arrived yesterday. Jiang Bai immediately turned to Bai Piao and asked, brother, where is our house in this neighborhood? Bai Piao looked at the two little ones who turned their heads in perfect unison and replied with a smile, Villa number 66 in the neighborhood. After saying that, Bai Piao Weiwei leaned forward and peered through the window, which was half blocked by the two little ones, towards Jiang Yuanyong in the car across the street. After listening to Jiang Shin and Jiang Bai repeat the address, Jiang Yuan happily wrote it down. The family driver had already increased the speed, which was originally slowed down to make it easier for them to communicate. At a fork in the road in the residential area, they arrived. Jiang Yuan Chao Jiang Bai Jiang Shin waved goodbye and happened to see Bai Piao's smiling face through the car window that wasn't completely blocked by the other half. Why does he look so familiar? His eyes are so beautiful. I feel like I've seen them somewhere before. Jiang Yuan met Bai Piao's gaze in the car. Seeing him smiling and watching her, she shyly shrank back. Is it too late to sit like a lady now? Jiang Yuan was in tears. She was truly bewitched. Her 18-year-old soul was still being possessed by Jiang Shin, who was in kindergarten. Jiang Bai has led her astray, and her behavior is like that of a child. So was he laughing at her just now? Who is he? Jiang Shin, is he Jiang Bai's father? Jiang Shin, Jiang Bai is so beautiful. Their father must be handsome too, so he must be their father. Indeed, like Jiang Shin, just as Jiang Bai said, their parents are very young and beautiful. Although they haven't met their mother yet, she must be a great beauty. For some reason, Jiang Yuanyong guessed that the handsome man with the beautiful eyes from earlier might be Jiang Shin. After hearing about Jiang Bai's father, she actually felt a pang of sadness. What's wrong, Yuan? After we get back and have dinner, Mom will take you to their house to play. Mother Jiang asked with concern when she saw that her daughter looked a little unhappy. Jiang Yuan was sitting up straight. Yeah, I'll go find them to play after dinner. Jiang Yuan replied absent-mindedly to Mother Jiang. Villa. Bai Piao looked at the empty house, where only he and Jiang Shin were present. Jiang Bai and his two companions were worried about how well they would entertain Jiang Yuanyong when she came to visit. With that in mind, Bai Piao called Wang Ma, who comes over every day to cook 3 meals. After dinner, Mother Jiang brought Jiang Yuanyong over as a guest. Bai Piao hadn't even had a chance to look at Jiang Yuanyong before Jiang Shin Jiang Bai dragged her off to play. Mother Jiang learned some basic information about their family from Bai Piao. Bai Piao's parents were doing business abroad, so they asked him to return to China to settle down and take care of his younger siblings' schooling. Do your younger brother and sister take your mother's surname? Mother Jiang asked, looking at Jiang Shin playing in the living room. Jiang Bai asked. Bai Piao sat up straight and nodded in reply, yes, they take my mother's surname, Jiang. Bai Piao followed Mother Jiang's gaze toward the 3 little ones, her eyes crinkling with a smile before finally settling on Jiang Yuan. While playing, Jiang Yuanyong met Bai Piao's gaze. She hurriedly looked away, her thoughts a little confused. She leaned to the side and asked Jiang Shin in a low voice, Jingxin, why is only your dad here? Where is your mom? Jiang Shin scratched his head, looking around in confusion. Where is my dad? Isn't that your dad sitting across from my mom? Jiang Yuanyong asked, puzzled. Had she misunderstood? Him. He's not our father, he's our cousin. Wah! Before Jiang Shin could finish speaking, her brother Jiang Bai covered her mouth with his hand. Jiang Bai laughed it off, saying, he's our brother. Mom and dad aren't home right now. Upon hearing her brother's reply, Jiang Shin realized she had almost let something slip and quickly nodded, sobbing, he's my brother, our brother. Oh, When Jing Yuan learned that he was not their father but their brother, the inexplicable sense of loss in her heart disappeared. As it was getting late, Mother Jing decided to take Jing Yuan home. Yuan, come here, we should go home now. We'll come back to play another day. Mother Jing smiled gently, calling Jing Yuan to go home. Jing Yuan ran up to her Mother Jing with small steps. Mother Jing took her hand and said, Yuan, say goodbye to your brother. Goodbye, brother. Jing Yuan shyly hid behind her Mother Jing, leaning half her body out to look at Bai Piao, who was tall, clean-cut, and handsome, and called out in a sweet and soft voice. Mother Jing glanced down at her daughter's demeanor and said apologetically to Bai Piao, hey, this child isn't usually this shy. I don't know why she's like this today. Bai Piao smiled knowingly, it's alright, little kid. After saying that, Bai Piao suppressed his excitement, squatted down to look Jing Yuan in the eye as much as possible, and said gently, Yuan, see you next time. Jing Yuan stared straight at Bai Piao. She was certain she had seen this brother somewhere before, but she couldn't find any memory of Bai Piao in her past life. After leaving the Bai family villa, Jing Yuan kept searching her memory of the Bai family, but to no avail, and she looked distressed. Forget about that for now. I still have that wicked nanny, Zuyan, waiting for me to outwit her. Sitting in the back of the car, Jing Yuan gritted her teeth and pondered. She remembered that when she was born, Zuyan had smothered her until she was unconscious. When she opened her eyes again, she seemed to be held by a strange man, who had switched her with Zuyan's biological daughter. As Jing Yuan grew older, her memories of the person who saved her that night became increasingly hazy. Meeting Bai Piao today, this gentle older brother, I felt like he was the savior who saved her that night. They both have beautiful eyes. So could he be? Jing Yuan shook her head slightly, denying the idea. It was too outrageous. Her rebirth was already outrageous enough. How could Bai Piao, this gentle older brother, be able to foresee the future? Their ages didn't match up either. Mom, Jing Shin, how old is Jing Bai's older brother, Bai Piao? Did they just return home recently? Seeing her daughter start asking questions like a little adult again, Mother Jing replied with a smile, that older brother is 15 years old and really tall. I heard he came back recently and plans to stay here for a long time. Jing, Piao, I didn't expect you to care so much about your age. Bai Piao, I'm only 17 years old in the real world, so saying I'm 2 years younger is just a small difference. Oh, 15 years old. Jing Yuan exclaimed in disbelief. Seeing her daughter's surprised expression, Mother Jing was also surprised. Oh, I didn't know until I asked. This morning when I took you to kindergarten, I misunderstood. I was wondering how there could be such a young father. Side story 5. How could it be him? Mother Jing was still saying something, but Jing Yuan was already lost in her own thoughts. Two little figures are fighting in my mind. The little figure in white says, they might be the same person, otherwise how could they both have the same beautiful eyes? The little man in black said, there are countless people who look alike, but they only have one pair of eyes and their ages don't match. They can't be the same person. The little man in white said, I have a feeling that he's right. That person back then was very gentle, just as gentle as this older brother. It's definitely him. The little man in black said, you're love-struck fool, you wouldn't happen to like this handsome older brother, that's why you said he was your savior that night, would you? The little man in white, you are talking nonsense. I don't like him at all. I just feel that way, so he is. The little man in black, no, his age doesn't match, absolutely not. The two little figures in Jing Yuan's head had already started fighting, and before a winner could be decided, the driver had already driven the car to the Jing family villa. After Jing Yuan got off the car, a pretty woman quickly came over and asked with concern, Miss, did you have fun? You didn't eat much for dinner today. Are you hungry now? I've prepared some snacks for you. Seeing Zhu Yan's concern for her, Jing Yuan sneered inwardly but calmly said, Aunt Zhu, I'm not hungry. That won't do. You're still growing. Eat something else. Zhu Yan looked anxious. That won't do. You're still growing. Eat something else. Zhu Yan looked anxiously at Mother Jing and said, Madam, please persuade Miss. She listens to you the most. She didn't eat much for dinner. How can she not be hungry now? Mother Jing was pleased to see that the nanny, Zhu Yan, cared for and loved her daughter, but she still respected her daughter's wishes. She felt that her daughter was different from other children her age, so she said gently, Aunt Zhu, Yuan said she's not hungry, so there's no need to persuade her. You can go about your business. After saying that, Mother Jing led Jing Yuan into the villa. Zhu Yan's expression turned ugly as she watched Mother Jing's back. Zhu Yan, this is my own daughter, and only I know how to love her. You are just a woman who has never lifted a finger and knows nothing, yet you dare to spoil her like this. No way, I must find a chance to replace you so that I can raise my own daughter openly and honestly. Jing Yuanyong glanced back and saw the malice in Zhu Yan's eyes. She looked away and began to make plans in her mind. Zhu Yan was only showing her this concern because she thought the baby swap was successful, but over the past 3 years, she had repeatedly done the opposite of what she was told, and she still hadn't realized that the child wasn't hers. In her previous life, Mother Jing had an accident when Jing Yuanyong was 10 years old. Before Mother Jing's accident, the fake Jing Yuanyong was already close to the nanny, Zhu Yan. She remembered that after her brother found her in her past life, he said he suspected that her mother had discovered the truth about Zhu Yan switching the children, and that Zhu Yan had pushed her downstairs to make it look like she had accidentally fallen and died. But the way Zhu Yan looked at her mother just now, why would she need to wait until she was 10 years old to make a move against her mother? Besides, she is now indeed the real daughter of the Jing family. She has been reborn with the memories of her past life. Will this change the original trajectory? Jing Yuan thought it over and decided that she should find an opportunity to kick Zhu Yan out of her house as soon as possible, otherwise there was no guarantee that Zhu Yan wouldn't take action against her mother beforehand. The difficult part now is that Zhu Yan treats her like her own daughter, and her family trusts Zhu Yan too much. Even though she had mentioned firing Zhu Yan before, her parents just thought it was a child throwing a tantrum and didn't fire Zhu Yan, who had worked at their house for almost 5 years. Soon, when Jing Yuan was 5 years old, an opportunity was found. Jing Yuan's room. Zhu Yan couldn't stand Jing Yuan's constant rejection of her care and attention, and her closeness only to Mother Jing. When she found Jing Yuanyong alone, she started saying that she was her real mother, trying to get Jing Yuanyong to be close to her. You are lying. You're not my real mother. Jing Yuanyong pretended to be angry and refused to believe Zhu Yan. Zhu Yan held Jing Yuan down. I am your biological mother. I was the one who switched you with the real daughter of the Jing family so that you could have everything you have now. Jing Yuan tried to push Zhu Yan away, but she was too weak to move him. She could only continue to glare at Zhu Yan with an angry expression. I don't believe you. I'm going to tell Mom and Dad and kick you out. These words seemed to anger Zhu Yan, who suddenly released Jing Yuan and threatened, go ahead. They'll definitely kick you out when they find out, because you're not their biological daughter. Jing Yuan stood there, stunned, without making a move. Zhu Yan thought Jing Yuan was scared and believed her, so she softened her tone and hugged Jing Yuan in her arms, saying gently, so Yuan, you have to be close to me. I'm your real mother. I won't hurt you. Jing Yuan secretly glanced at the teddy bear on her bed, a gift from her mother, which contained a surveillance camera. She had told her mother several times that the nanny, Zhu Yan, had a strong desire to control her. Although her mother was unwilling to believe it, she still gave her a teddy bear with a camera inside to put her mind at ease. Therefore, If Jing Yuan behaves strangely after leaving the room today, Mother Jing will definitely find out the whole truth through that teddy bear. Sure enough, after Jing Yuan's 3 days of unusual behavior, Mother Jing sent Zhu Yan away from cleaning and combed Jing Yuan's hair. Jing Yuan breathed a sigh of relief when she noticed her mother taking her hair away from the comb. It seemed Zhu Yan would be sent away soon. 3 days later, Jing's father used a serious work mistake as an excuse to kick Zhu Yan out, while Mother Jing comforted Jing Yuan with a guilty look on her face. Yuan, it's all your father's fault. We didn't believe you and should have fired Zhu Ma earlier. That's why she hurt you. You are my biological daughter. She's lying to you. As Mother Jing spoke, tears welled up in her eyes. Mr. Jing stood to the side, frowning. He still couldn't believe that he and his wife had actually kept someone like Zhu Yan at home to take care of their daughter's daily life. Jing Yuan hugged her mother tightly, as if making up for the suffering she had experienced in her past life. She finally cried her heart out in her biological mother's arms. The older brother, Jing Zheyu, also came over and hugged Mother Jing and Jing Yuan, comforting them. Mom, I will protect my sister from now on, and I will never let someone like Zhu Ma hurt her again. Before she knew it, Jing Yuan turned 18. She grew up smoothly with the company and love of her family. This time, she was able to study and was admitted to the best university in the city. On the first day of university, in order to encourage freshmen to study hard and abandon the misconception that getting into university means they can relax, the school will hold a special exchange meeting in the school auditorium, inviting outstanding graduates from various colleges to share their experiences. Jing Yuan was pulled by Xiang Meng, a classmate she met during military training, towards the auditorium. She asked, somewhat puzzled, Xiang Meng, is this exchange meeting really that important? Why are you in such a hurry? Xiang Meng kept walking, pulling Jing Yuan along as she said, of course it's important. Our college invited a very talented senior who started his own business successfully just 8 years after graduation. His company is already the most successful in the city. Jing Yuan was puzzled. Based on her limited interactions with Xiang Meng, who was known for her sneaky and cunning behavior, during the few days of military training, Xiang Meng didn't seem like someone who would be enthusiastic about attending study and exchange meetings. Moreover, a senior who graduated 8 years ago must be 30 years old, so why is Xiang Meng in such a hurry to see him? Hurry up, Yuan, or you won't get a good spot. I won't tell you anything else now, you'll see when you get there. Xiang Meng pulled Jing Yuan along and started jogging all the way to the auditorium. They managed to grab 2 seats that were relatively close to the front. Soon after the graduating seniors from other colleges finished sharing their experiences, it was Jing Yuan's turn to share hers with the seniors invited by Jiangming College. A man with broad shoulders, long legs, a tall and straight figure, and exceptionally handsome features, with a gentle and refined temperament, walked onto the stage. The moment he stepped onto the stage, his gaze fell in the direction of Jing Yuan. Look, isn't he handsome? Bai Seung, a celebrity in the city, a super handsome guy. Xiang Meng exclaimed excitedly, shaking Jing Yuan's arm. Jing Yuan looked up at Bai Seung on the stage, and their eyes met. Looking at the tender smile in the man's eyes, Jing Yuan was astonished. How could it be him? End of extra.